What's up, everybody? Gonna look into today. You hear a lot of debate on problems in this country, and we do have some problems, but I'd argue that a lot of them can be dealt with by dealing with one main issue, and that's money in our politics, lobbying. Um, we got a lot of these rich elites that pay off politicians for them to pass a lot of bills that benefit them, make them more money, um, hurts the people. And then we have foreign countries that pay off and blackmail all this with our politicians to pass bills and to do things that benefit them that hurts the people. And of course, we're always, as we the people, the taxpayers, we're always left holding the bag because we pay the taxes. It's our money that funds the government that they give to all these people in all these countries that could be used here at home to make life better for us, but instead it always seems to get sent somewhere else. Um, but and if anybody ever watches Coach Collins' channel, you'll know who I'm talking about when I say the problem is Philadelphia. We have our greatest ally. A lot of people on both sides. Some say that they're good, some say that they're bad. Um, you always hear that, the Bible says, he who blesses these people will be blessed. He who curses these people will be cursed. That's nothing farther from the truth on that. It's not talking about these people. It's talking about Abraham. But a lot of things have been twisted to suit these people, and it's causing a lot of problems for us here. Not the least of which is the war that we've just got into now. That is going to be a lot of American money spent over all of this. A lot of Americans are going to have a lot of problems here at home over all of it. But most importantly, there's going to be a lot of American bloodshed over this war that we didn't want nor need. It's all for the benefit of one group. We fought wars for them before. Indians all know who I'm talking about. It's the country that lets us know that all these problems is real. If you know what I'm saying. But a lot of people, I don't see how all these people are bought into this, because it's not hard to figure out what these people, how they look at America and Americans, how they feel about us. You see how these Muslims, how they talk about America and Americans. Well, there's pretty much the same thing being said from, and I'm going to call this group Philadelphia, just like Coach Collins does. But Philadelphia says a lot of the same things. And I've got some videos kind of showing, what they've got saying about America and Americans and how these people actually are. They're not the righteous, really good ally and friend that people want us to believe that they are. So I'm going to jump into this, and everybody grab your popcorn, and we're going to go over a few videos and kind of hopefully get the point across that we shouldn't be losing blood and treasure and putting our people in a bad way for this group of people. So got here Rokana. He's one of the one. I think they supposed to. Oh, what's his name? I can't think of his name now right off. He'll probably show right here, but there's like 7 senators and congressmen or whatever that doesn't take money from AIPAC, and he's being asked about all that.
There are 100 U.S. senators. Last year, 93 out of 100 U.S. senators were people whose campaigns had been funded by Israel, AIPAC, and the Israel lobby. 93 out of 100 U.S. senators were taking money from a group that represents a foreign government and foreign interests in order to operate our government on behalf of someone else. And they all work here, in this building.
This is Representative Rokana from California, and he does not take AIPAC money according to the website Track AIPAC. Here's what he had to say.
It's too much. I mean, it's too much. All these super PACs and PACs are too much. I don't take a dime of PAC money, lobbyist money, since I've been in Congress. And I don't believe in super PACs. And so I can vote my conscience. But if you have people who have a particular point of view, in AIPAC's case, they're basically whatever Netanyahu does is right. That's their point of view. And they're saying, okay, if you don't take that view, we may come after you. We may have millions of dollars spent against you.
Yeah, you see there, guys. Even senators are admitting it. That there's just too much money in our politics. And we need to start demanding all this money. Lobbying, to me, I think it should be outlawed. It should be against the law. These politicians are all the time wanting to ban something from us. Stuff that they have no business even, having any say on. But, they have the congressional slush fund so they can pay off people when they sexually harass them or rape somebody, staffer or whatever. We don't have any representation in government no more. They're all representing Philadelphia, or they're representing big tech, or the the military contractors, or whoever. It's never what's good for we the people. It's always them and their rich buddies, or some foreign government like Philadelphia that's paying them off or blackmailing them. And then whenever you do go and try to have a say or ask a question of one of your representatives or somebody, you get something like this right here. You're not allowed to ask questions. You're not allowed to speak to them. And if you do speak to them as they're walking out away from you, they just ignore you. They don't answer your questions.
Can we ask a question from the public? Excuse me, can we ask a question? How do we know? They haven't said. So I have a question that I'm posing, which is, we just had a 2.5-hour hearing with Tulsi Gabbard, the head of the CIA, the head of the FBI, and all the senators, Democrat and Republican. Not once did the word Israel come up. Not once did the word Israel come up. And we're talking about global threats. I want to know, is this a war in Iran for Israel? Is this a war for Israel? And Senator Cotton, isn't it a global threat that the U.S. continues to support Israel? Israel dragged us into this unprovoked war. Israel is taking us down a disastrous, catastrophic road in the Middle East, where the nations of the Gulf are being blown up, where Iran is being blown up in an unprovoked war, where Israel continues its genocide in Gaza, where Israel continues terrorizing people in the West Bank, where Israel is destroying southern Lebanon, when you talk about global threats and you don't mention Israel. Why is that? Is that because this entire administration and Democrats and Republicans have been bought by AIPAC? Is that what we're seeing in this country? It's scary. Isn't it scary? Our entire foreign policy being bought by AIPAC. Senators, why didn't you bring up Israel and its threat to U.S. national security by supporting a genocidal regime?
We just attended the Senate Intelligence Committee hearing this morning. Medea, what did you think about it?
Well, I was extremely disappointed because we sat for 2.5 hours, right?
Right, we did.
And we heard about threats from Russia, from China. I think they even talked about North Korea, definitely Iran, Cuba, Venezuela. And they never talked about the threat of Israel and the threat that the U.S. government, including this entire Congress, almost the entire Congress, is in the pocket of the pro-Israel lobby group AIPAC that dragged us into this war in Iran.
Yeah, what about that? So, we're not allowed to ask questions of our government that we pay for? Yeah, we pay for this government. We elect these people to go and work for us, so we think. And it doesn't matter which side, neither left or right, red or blue, Republican, Democrat, it don't matter. We always end up with the same outcome. They serve everybody, as far as the rich elites in this country and other countries too, probably, and they serve these foreign countries like Philadelphia. I think we send like $400 million a week to the Taliban. Why? You know, we had our farmers and ranchers and stuff that was having all this trouble. We know, with the beef and soybeans and all this stuff here a few months back because of Trump, his trade deals and everything, or his tariffs. And instead of helping our ranchers and farmers, we sent, I think it was $40 billion to Argentina to help their ranchers and farmers. Why? Why is it always the American people that pay for everything but don't benefit from anything at all? Let's see. Got Sean Ryan. I think this is the one. Let's see what this one is.
Here's what they said on the campaign trail. Trump advisor Stephen Miller on X. Liz Cheney is Kamala's top advisor. Liz wants to invade the whole Middle East. Kamala equals World War III. Trump equals peace. Tulsi Gabbard, October 28, 2024. A vote for Kamala Harris is a vote for Dick Cheney and a vote for war. War and more war. A vote for Donald Trump is a vote to end wars, not start them. Miller also wrote, Kamala will send your sons to war. J.D. Vance, 2023, on the Wall Street Journal. Trump's best foreign policy? Not starting any wars. He has my support because I know he won't recklessly send Americans to fight wars overseas. The Republican National Committee promoted Trump Vance is the pro-peace ticket. Trump on October 30th, 2024. They're all war hawks when they're sitting in Washington in a nice building saying, in quote, oh gee, let's send 10,000 troops right into the mouth of the enemy. Pete Hegseth, December 2025 speech. Our department will not be distracted by democracy-building interventionism, undefined wars, and regime change. Every single one of these things is a complete
Don't forget, during the Biden administration, Trump said, this president is going to drive us into war because he doesn't know how to negotiate. Well,
here we are.
here we are.
The entire world is worried that we're going to go into World War III here.
For good reason.
For good reason. Yeah, for good reason. Where are we at now? We've got Trump for years talking about going to war with Iran. You know, it was stupid. We didn't need to go to war with Iran. And here we are, going to war with Iran. I mean, nobody honestly believes that Iran posed any kind of danger to the U.S. And they weren't going to try to build nuclear bombs. Supposedly he just went, what was it, in June last year, and obliterated their nuclear threat to everybody. And now here we are again, because BB has been hollering for 30 years that they were 2 weeks away from a nuke. But it's all a lie. They wasn't nowhere near a nuke. They wasn't trying to get a nuke. And then right here, see, our whole government is owned by Philadelphia. See, every one of them, left and right, all taking money. J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, Joe Biden, Hakeem Jeffries, Mitch McConnell, Trump, Kamala Harris, all of them. Our entire government is eat up with these people. They're not making decisions for you and me. They're making decisions of who pays them, and they're making decisions off of who can blackmail them. Just like they all want to run over here and they all want to run over and put on their little hats and touch this wall that ain't even the wall of the temple. This is the wall. I think they said the wall of Shekinah or something like that. It's not even part of the temple. And we got this here. Move it back over here so you can, well, give me just a second, folks. I'll move it to where you can see here. Alright, it says honest juice, Harold Wallace Rosenthal. Our power has been created through the manipulation of the national monetary system. The Federal Reserve System fitted our plan nicely since it is owned by us. But the name implies that it is a government institution. From the very outset, our purpose was to confiscate all the gold and silver, replacing them with worthless, non-redeemable paper notes. We Jews have put issue upon issue to the American people. Then we promote both sides of the issue as confusion reigns. With their eyes fixed on the issues, they fail to see who is behind every scene. We Jews toy with the American public as a cat toys with a mouse. And then it says down here at the bottom, they killed him 30 days after his confessions. And then you see, no matter who you vote for, the debt keeps rising and the bombs keep dropping. Like I said, it doesn't matter red or blue, right or left. You're going to get pretty much the same people, because they're all controlled by the same people. They're all bought by the same people. And this war is going to cause us all a lot of headache, people. I mean, you see prices are going up, not just gas prices, all prices, because everything moves by train and truck in this country, and they require fuel. A lot of stuff has petroleum in it when it's made. You know, and that, I've seen them talking about lockdowns, energy lockdowns and stuff. When it gets to where it takes you, you know, a week's pay to pay just your light bill or more, or, you know, maybe you can't even go to work because there's no gas for you to get to work, or what have you. You know, we already went through this crap with COVID, and I hope and I pray that we do not let these people take us down this road again, because and the Constitution says what to do when a government becomes destructive to those ends, meaning the protection and looking out for the citizens, what you do with it. And we'll probably cover that here in a minute, but we got to start taking control of our country back. As long as we let these people control it, they're going to run us in the ground. Yeah, and then you got, you know, like these whole deal with the Palestinians and stuff, you know. These people come in and just started murdering these people to take their land. And the people in Philadelphia ain't even Philadelphians, just so everybody knows. So this wasn't land that was promised to them thousands of years ago or anything like that. As far as the Bible's talking about, the Bible's saying that people who believe in Jesus and follow Jesus, those people are the ones that the covenant is with. Those are the ones that land belongs to. These people don't believe in Jesus as far as him being the Messiah or the Savior. You read their Talmud and all that stuff, they believe Jesus is in hell burning in an excrement. And they keep trying to take more and more and more, and that's what this war is about. They want the Greater Israel Project, which is part of Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and Lebanon, several countries, I think Syria, several countries there that they're going to be taking part of their land. And they don't care who they have to genocide to take it. But this is them trying to take and steal land from settlers. As settlers, the Philadelphia settlers trying to steal land from the people that live there.
Footage captures settlers attacking Saeed Al-Amouri before shooting him, resulting in leg amputation. Since October 2023, the savagery of Israeli settlers has escalated dramatically. Looting homes, seizing land, attacking, even killing Palestinians. Today, over 750,000 settlers live in illegal settlements.
If I don't steal it, someone else is going to steal it.
Since January, there have been 757 settler attacks in the West Bank. 964 Palestinians have been killed by the IOF and settlers. Source UN.
I ask you and the people of the world, why are you so interested in those Palestinians so much? Why are you obsessed with them?
Israeli settlers are wreaking havoc in the West Bank, with total impunity. Why? Because the ultimate goal is total annexation.
שנת 2025 תהיה בעזרת השם שנת הריבונות ביהודה.
But settler barbarity is not confined to the West Bank. It extends to Gaza, assisting the genocide, deepening Palestinian suffering by blocking and attacking aid trucks, amid a catastrophic U.S.-Israeli engineered famine.
Even if you take Netanyahu now, he is very happy with what we do here and also about our plans to build Jewish communities in Gaza.
What future remains for Palestine as the new Haganah scorch the land with unprecedented impunity and deafening silence?
Yeah, so guys, these people are not all as righteous and holy and innocent and loving as everybody thinks they are. See, where's this? Oh yeah, and you got what are you doing here? There we go. Finally. You know, they always tell you, if you want to know who you're controlled by, look at who you can't criticize. I'm sure everybody's heard that before. Well, look at this here.
I give you this by way of example. Some pond scum felt empowered and emboldened enough to put this picture of me up to try to threaten and intimidate me, which of course he didn't do because I signed up for this. And by the way, the person that did this said a bunch of terrible things, not just against me, but against a lot of groups and individuals, who, by the way, was arrested today in Wisconsin. My point is this, though. If this person is emboldened and empowered enough or feels safe enough to do this for me, what does he do to a kid? What does he do to a Jewish family walking down the street? And that's because of the normalization of this. Watching this on television and saying, okay, I feel empowered enough that I can do this. Well, A, you can't. And B, if you think you can do it to somebody that's in law enforcement, again, what are you going to do in an alley or in a street to a Jewish family or a kid walking down the street? We say no. We're drawing the line.
Yeah. Okay, this guy wasn't trying to threaten anybody. It's called a meme. He made a meme of this cop because he's a Zionist bootlicker. And because he made a meme, and maybe said something that these people didn't like, they went out and arrested him and put him in jail. What happened to our First Amendment rights, people? We're supposed to have the right to free speech in this country. Where's that right at? this cop actually posted on social media that the public needed to be taught a lesson. Excuse me, because evidently we're not allowed to say what we want to say. We don't have free speech. We can talk bad about the groups that they want to talk bad about, but when it comes to free speech, talking about, you don't need a First Amendment to protect speech that people like. You need a First Amendment to protect speech that people don't like. That's the whole point of it. And the answer for what you, I guess, maybe want to call bad speech is more speech. You debate. Stuff like that. But these people know, if you talk bad about Philadelphia, you got to go to jail. I like this too. You got the truth, their lies, and then them. And it's starting to crack. People are starting to see through all the lies. And when they do, maybe then this country can get back to being the way it's supposed to be. Spam calls. And then you have a lot of this stuff involved with these groups too. Interpol arrests Israeli Yoel, whatever, Alter, leader of one of the largest child trafficking rings in the world. So, just like the whole Epstein deal, everybody thinks that Epstein was Mossad, which I think he was too, but maybe that's why you got Trump doing things that he campaigned and swore he wouldn't do, and all of a sudden now he's doing it. Trump from first term to Trump to this term, it's like two completely opposite people. He done pretty good. He could have done a lot better, but he done fairly good in the first term. And that's why we all voted to put him back in there this time instead of Kamala Harris. And he campaigned on a lot of good stuff, but then he's got in there and he's just literally become Judas. But this is another video about these settlers trying to take these people's land. Pay attention to what these guys say. You have to read it. They're speaking, I guess, Hebrew or whatever, but pay attention to what they say.
מה אתה רוצה בארץ הזה?
הארץ שלי, הארץ המובטחת.
אז מה, אתה רוצה כאילו רצח עם?
מה?
אתה רוצה רצח עם?
אני לא רוצה שהם יעופו פה, לא אכפת לי בעצם.
I don't know if the settlers are running out of adults, but wherever I go now, I see baby settlers. This one seems to be like 11 or 12, I don't know how old children are. Anyway, these are all Palestinian houses, of course, and they sat in the couches there, and now they're here, and they're trying to stir shit up and to create a provocation, and now they're calling the police on us, saying that this is a closed military zone, which would of course mean that they're also not allowed to be here. But they seem to be quite happy sitting on the rocks inside the Palestinian village of Muhmas.
Yeah, so they're just sitting out in front of these people's house, just trying to stir stuff up. They just want to take the land. They don't care if these people are murdered. They don't care if they run away, whatever. He don't care what happens to them. Just like the rest of them don't care what happens to them. As he said, he just wants them to fuck off. He don't care where they go, what happens. if somebody came to your house, if I came to your house and just opened the door and walked in and sat on your couch and told you this is my home, it was promised to me however long ago, you got to go. And if you don't go, then, I'm going to unalive you. You'd be ready to fight to defend your home, of course. We all would. But if your house was in the middle of a huge neighborhood where everybody felt the same as me and believed the same as me and wanted you gone, yeah, you might be able to take me out, but then all my buddies is going to come take you and your whole family out. So what do? I mean, they're still trying to fight, but they're outnumbered. Nobody seems to want to help. So, but this is Bill Cooper. He's had a lot of videos around for years. Was in the know of a lot of things, but I'll play it here and you can hear he's asked a question and listen to what his answer is.
What role in the Middle East again does Israel play in this?
Israel was created as the instrument to bring about the Battle of Armageddon and the fulfillment of prophecy, a war that will be so terrible, where nuclear weapons will be used, so that the American citizens and the other people in the world will get down on their knees and beg for no more war. And what is the answer to that? They're going to be told the only way we can guarantee no more war is if we destroy the sovereignty of nations and we come together as one humanity in a one world government.
Right. What role in the Middle East again does Israel play in this?
I can see that. Everybody's tired of war. I think we should worry about America. Iran can worry about Iran. Philadelphia can worry about Philadelphia. But if we minded our own business and worried about our own people, we would be a whole lot better off. But we keep letting these people get us wrapped up in all these wars. And if anybody has ever watched Jeffrey Sachs, he talks about the list back in the 90s that was supposed to have been countries we were going to take out for Israel. There's like 7 of them. And for a while now, we'd had all of them but one. And that one that was left was Iran. And you see where we're at now. We're at war with Iran. Now, this next video is Rabbi, or I call them Rabbies, Tom Glasser. And he's going to be talking about the America and some mostly Western countries and stuff. But listen to what he's got to say.
Because the most powerful nations in the world have to go down to their knees. That's what happened to Egypt. That's what's going to happen to America. That's what's going to happen to Germany. That's what's going to happen to France. That's what's going to happen to London, England. It's going to happen to Poland. That's what's going to happen to Russia. That's what's going to happen to China. But we're almost there, guys. It's happening. This is it. They're all going to go down to their knees, and especially the Western ones. They're going to go down hard for how they treated us over the last 2,000 years. For the destruction of the Second Temple and how they treated us, Hashem's going to take them down hard. Because the reason God's doing this is for His name in this world. Because the most powerful nations in the world have to...
How about that? We're all going to go down on our knees and we're going to go hard. Because of how we've treated them over the last 2,000 years. Well, I think if you go and you look, I think America's treated them pretty damn good. we're $40 trillion in debt. Americans can barely get through day to day. We're making life decisions at the gas pump and the grocery store. While these people, they get free health care. Just all kinds of stuff that's paid for over there. It's unbelievable how good these people are living. And it's because they're living off of our taxpayer money. They get billions and billions of dollars sent over there. We pay for all of their security, Iron Dome, all that stuff. We pay for all of that. That country literally runs off of our taxpayer money. And then they want to start hollering that, we're going to go down because of the way they've been treated. World War II, when the Holocaust supposedly happened, did America not come over there and win the war? These people are, I think they're evil. Just like Jesus says in the Bible, I know of those who say they are Jews but are not, but are of the synagogue of Satan. That's who he's talking about. This one here, it says a French woman recounts the Israeli genocide in Gaza. We found a single mass grave in Gaza containing 300 people. Small children were killed with their hands tied behind their backs. Then they come out and claim that Israeli soldiers are the most moral in the world. I don't think this woman, you can really understand her or anything, and I don't think it's got subtitles either.
Je sais pas si je vais pouvoir vous le dire. Socially.
Yeah, she's speaking French or whatever. But that's horrifying. A bunch of kids, little babies with their hands tied behind their backs, just buried in a mass grave. Alright, this is talking about Jared Kushner.
Jared Kushner is a Zionist tool. He is an instrument of the deep state, and he is sexually and financially compromised, according to MI6 and some CIA sources, not official. He is owned by Zionist sugar daddies. First you buy a newspaper, then you marry the daughter, then you buy a building, then you get the dad, then you take his power. This is actually on Bloomberg as how Jared Kushner is going to execute patricide. What people don't understand is that Ivanka Trump was profiled by Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, both of them Mossad agents. Ghislaine Maxwell is the daughter of Robert Maxwell, who is the most famous Zionist spy in the United States of America. So my bottom line on Jared Kushner is that he is known to be an agent of a foreign power. He is known to be an Israeli firster. He is known to have executed some very bad business deals, and he is known to have been bailed out on his 666 Mark of the Beast building by Qatar. Okay? So he's compromised in every possible way.
Yeah. And we know he has the president's ear. Him and his daughter both. They're both, I know Ivanka converted to Judaism. I don't know if Jared was one of them already or if he converted or what, but they're involved in that whole Gaza deal where they're going to turn it into a big billionaire theme park pretty much. This guy here got a letter from a former Philadelphian. I'll let him explain what it is here and he'll read it to you.
Well, once in a while, I get messages that are something that are enlightening, and this is one of those times. Ricky, I was born and raised Jewish. My family is from Poland. We moved to New York City when I was 7. I say this because I am now a Christian. I have seen a lot of videos you've been making, and you're getting a lot of hate and harassment for it, and I wanted to tell you you are absolutely correct. In Judaism, we're taught from yeshiva that Jews have a divine spirit and the Goyim, or Gentiles, have an animal spirit. We call this nefesh halokit and nefesh habahamet. It's instilled in us that we have the responsibility of subjugating the Gentiles because they can't be trusted. I saw you got a message from a Jew stating your job is his slave. That is because Judaism teaches after the construction of the third temple is built, the Mashiach will come and the Jews will own all of the Gentiles as slaves. Jews have a duty to not reveal any of these teachings to the Goyim. When asked about rabbinic or Talmudic laws, we are to lie and deny the teachings. I have been excommunicated from my family for choosing Christ. You are absolutely correct that across all of Judaism, not just Hasidism, Yeshu is the most hated enemy. We are taught Christians are the enemy, more so than Muslims. We are taught that our goal as Jews is to rid the world of Christianity specifically, which is why Hollywood, the music industry, pornography industry, tech industry has pushed and targeted the destruction of the Christian-based morality. Judaism is satanic, the synagogue of Satan. The Christians and Muslims are waiting for the return of Christ, and the Jews are waiting for the Antichrist. I would know better than any. Keep fighting this fight because you're standing up to the devil himself.
What about that? He used to be a Philadelphian before he converted to Christianity, so he knows, all of that stuff that's going on. These people, they look at anybody that's not Philadelphian like they're cattle. We're not even human. And they think that they're gonna, most of us are gonna be unalived, and the few that are left are gonna be slaves. And this one is one of these Philadelphians, or actually a few of these Philadelphians. You can hear it straight from their mouth, which I think they're speaking Hebrew or whatever. It's not even original Hebrew, but they're speaking Hebrew, but you have to try to read along with it. And you may have to pause or whatever to read it because it's kind of fast, but you hear it straight from the horse's mouth.
אם הם עובדי עבודה זרה, אז אנחנו צריכים למוס בהם ולשקט אותם ולרמוס אותם ובעיקרון גם להרוג אותם, כי הרי גוי חייב בשבע מצוות בלי נוח, ואם הוא לא מקיים את זה צריך להרוג אותו. אבל... אתה תהרוג מישהו? אם הייתי יכול, הייתי מאוד שמח לעשות את זה, אבל אין לנו בית דין, אז אנחנו לא יכולים לעשות את זה.
אוקיי, אבל זה אמונה של מישהו אחר.
זה אמונה שמישהו מאמין בה צריך להרוג אותו.
מי שמאמין שהאלוהים שלי הוא חלק מאיש, אז צריך להרוג אותו. מי שמזלזל באלוהים שלי, אז אני אהרוג אותו.
אז זה לא, אבל זה תפקיד שלכם. להרוג או לרעוק, זה לא התפקיד של אלוקים?
לא, השם אומר לנו מה לעשות.
הוא אומר, זה כתוב, להרוג? איפה? איפה כתוב?
היהדות תפקידה בעולם זה לעשות טוב, לגרום שהעולם יהיה נקי.
כן.
אז כל בן אדם שיאמין באיזה בן זונה אחד.
אבל איפה זה כתוב? אבל איפה זה כתוב?
איפה זה כתוב בגמרא? אתה רוצה להביא גמרא? אנחנו יכולים להביא גמרא ולראות.
אבל הגמרא זה כתוב על ידי אנשים, לא על ידי...
על ידי אנשים שהקדוש ברוך הוא שלח חכמים שכתוב בתורה של להקשיב להם.
Yeah. And just so you know, the reason why they're saying idol worshippers, or anybody who worships that son of a, they're talking about Jesus Christ. Anybody that worships Jesus Christ, they believe that you're supposed to kill him. So that's what they feel, how they feel about it. And they like I said, they're not much different from the the Muslims. You know, as they look at you, the infidels, you're to be unalived. These people look at you if you're not Philadelphian. You know, pretty much you're to be unalived, especially if you're Christian. But then you hear people talk about going over to Israel and getting spit on and this, that, and the other. Oh, Talmud Tatum, or Man-Tits Tatum, as some people call him, talks about going to Israel and only getting spit on once. Like that was something good. You know, this whole country owes its existence still to the America, to us, Americans, since all of our money is going over there to pretty much pay everything so they can live pretty much for free the way they do. And they lie to you. They play like a part to your face, as long as they're getting something out of you, which is our money and our military to fight their wars. But once they're done, we've took out Iran and we've got all the land that they want to steal from everybody, and they pretty much have drained America and put it on its knees, as that one guy said. They're going to pretty much suck all the power and the juice out of America through fighting these wars and everything else, so that whenever we're done with this war, America's pretty much collapsed. Then they've stole all this land and they become the new superpower in the Middle East. And all of these rich elites and all of them, most of them are Philadelphian, and they've got dual citizenship, which is something else I don't agree with. They should have to pick a side. But once this is over with, and they've just collapsed our country, then they can take their companies, their corporations, and their billions and billions, or probably trillions and trillions of dollars, go over there, and then Philadelphia is set up as a new superpower over there, and we're left over here with our crumbling, destroyed, and pretty much just demolished America. Our money's not going to be any good. It's already losing value big time. This war is really going to crash the dollar. Whoever don't get killed fighting their wars, we're going to be left over here pretty much just ruined. And then they'll probably kill us all off. Just shoot a nuke over here and blow us up. Who knows? But another thing that a lot of people are upset about, and I don't blame them, is back, I think it's 78 or 79 or something like that, when Israel attacked the USS Liberty. This guy was on there.
Take me through what happened on June 8th.
The attack began.
What's the first thing you remember?
All hands get to your general quarter stations. We're under attack, we're under attack. And I got to my GQ station, which is in the front part of the ship, and those two men that I just left there, not a minute it took me to get back up there, they were dead. They're blown to bits. Anything that moved aboard that ship, they were shot at. They took out all of our antennas within 3 seconds. Our 450 caliber machine guns were gone. Every watertight door was hit, and this went on for 25 minutes, dropping napalm on us. 25 minutes of that, you can't imagine. Every second was like an hour. There was nowhere to hide, nowhere to run, and you got people severely blown up, wounded badly, and then there was a lull. We saw the torpedo boats coming. We thought, the Star of David, oh good, because these were unmarked jet aircraft. We didn't know who was attacking us. We thought it was the Arabs. And then we saw the torpedo boats, and the Star of David thought, oh man, here's our best friends who are going to come help us. No, they come to sink us. They fired 5 torpedoes at us. LBJ gets on the phone, and his exact words were, I don't give a GD if all those sailors die. I'm not going to embarrass my ally Israel, like I said in the letter. Now, how did he know that if we didn't know it, who was attacking us?
So they then have the President of the United States. So this guy's trying to do the right thing, Captain Tully. He's like, we're going to help them. He gets called back by the Secretary of Defense. He's thinking, I'm going to go over his head because this is crazy. And now the President of the United States is saying, I don't care. I don't give a GD if they die. I am not going to embarrass our friend and ally Israel. So he knew.
We were set up by our own government to die.
Think about that, people. And that Star of David is actually the Star of Remphan, or the Star of Baal. But another ship, another captain, was trying to come to their aid when they were ordered by our president to stand down and return to port, because he would rather a whole ship full of soldiers die than to embarrass Philadelphia. I mean, it's been a long lie for these people, and I'm gonna finish this video off because we're coming up on an hour. I'm gonna make another one, so I got a whole lot more. But when I said the Constitution talks about when a government is destructive to those ends because it doesn't do what's best for its people, it's pretty much committing treason, because it's looking out more for a foreign entity. We're selling us out to rich elites like Rothschilds and all of them. This is what the Constitution tells us.
You know what's in the Declaration of Independence? This. Whenever any form of government becomes destructive, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it. The right of the people to abolish it. That's not a conspiracy theory. That's not extremism. That's literally in the founding document of this country. When the government stops protecting your rights and starts destroying them, you have the right to tear it down and build something new. But the founders? They said if the government becomes tyrannical, you don't just complain about it, you abolish it. That's your right. It's not radical, it's constitutional. Maybe it's time we remember that. You know what's in the Declaration of Independence?
Yeah, that's, this country, the only hope this country's got is if we the people come together and we stand against this crap. If we sit and just complain and let it keep going on, these people don't care if we bitch and cry and complain and go on. People have been doing it for decades, and they keep doing what they're doing. So that's not going to stop anything. it's just going to lead to the downfall of the country. I mean, I pretty much played out for you here exactly what Philadelphia is saying. They're going to bring this country to its knees. The Chinese professor that's on YouTube, Jiang or whatever his name is, I can't remember his name right off. If you go on his channel, he's got a video on there talking about the Pax Judaica that talks about, and he explains what I was saying about how they're going to pretty much drain all the life, the power, the energy, everything out of America to fight this war, to build their greater Israel project, and then they're just going to leave it to die. Or maybe they'll go ahead and put it out of its misery. I don't know. But then all these rich, tech people and a lot of your war military industrial complex people, all of them, they're all Philadelphians for the most part. The ones that ain't converted probably, but they all have dual citizenship between here and Philadelphia. But they're going to milk this country for everything they can get out of it, build a new superpower over there, and let this one die. And they're trying to bring in the Mashiach, as they call it, which is the Messiah, because they didn't believe Jesus Christ could be the Messiah because he rode in on a donkey. He wasn't, I guess, rich and all this crap, so they didn't believe that he was the Messiah. They think the Messiah is going to be this big, rich, like, popular, political type figure or whatever. Pretty much what they're waiting on is not the Messiah. They're waiting on the Antichrist. And they think doing all this stuff that they're doing, they're going to usher him in to come. So, and the whole time they're doing all this stuff, we the people, if we don't do something, we're going to be the ones that ain't unalived. We're going to be pretty much herded like cattle. Digital IDs, old mark of the beast, digital currency, everything, all that stuff. They're going to bring all this stuff in. They're already doing it. So it's going to be a bad time. That's what I'm trying to say. I got to watch what I say, because if I say certain thing, or say something wrong, whatever, then this video gets flagged. Because, like I said, you want to know who controls you, or who you can't criticize. But I just want people to do some research on this. Look into all this stuff. There's plenty of stuff on here where you can see straight from their own mouths. You can see what they're doing, what they're saying. You know, they go on television and stuff. They talk about Judeo-Christian, this and that. That's like saying dry water. You know, Christian, you believe in Jesus Christ as the Savior. These people believe that Jesus' mother Mary was a whore, and that Jesus was pretty much like a demon that was sent to try to lead Israel astray, and that he is now in hell boiling in his own excrement. So that's why I said I don't see how these people can, honestly, with all the information that's out there, all the videos of these people out of their own mouths saying all this stuff, in government and then just regular people say that Israel's our greatest ally. That like Ted Cruz and Dan Bonjana want to say that their number one cause is the security of Israel, and that Ted Cruz says his number one objective as Congress or in the Senate was to, pretty much work for Israel, not the people. But that's why we, the people, we pay in all this money in taxes and stuff, and no matter who you elect, which side you put in there, it's like now we had Trump, we have Republican House and a Republican Senate. And a pretty Republican Supreme Court. Not really, really Republican, but fairly Republican. And we can't get nothing through. We got a Save America Act to kind of bolster the security of our elections and stuff. 80% of Americans, that's both sides, 80% of Americans want this bill passed. And we can't get it passed. So, what if another bill that Republicans wanted? Maybe Democrats didn't really want it, but Republicans wanted it. If we can't get one that pretty much all of American citizens want passed, how can you get one that's maybe 50-60% of Americans want? Because they don't want to pass anything that doesn't benefit them or their rich benefactors or these foreign countries that blackmail and bribe them. But we got to start standing up, folks. I mean, we're in the fourth quarter, like 20 seconds on the clock. We lose this game, there won't be no rematch. So, people are going to have to start deciding whether they want to fight because of black and white or red or blue or all this. This is all bullshit that's meant to distract us. As long as they keep us fighting each other, we're not watching and paying attention to what they're doing, and we're not fighting them. I don't give a crap what color skin you are. I don't give a crap what color you vote for. It's all like wrestling. These people come out on the news and on TV and they argue back and forth like they're, against each other, and then as soon as they go out of the sight of these cameras, they're backslapping and drinking and going to dinners and probably screwing each other and who knows what. It's all an act. They've got us out here like a bunch of toddlers fighting over toys while they sit and laugh as they sell us down the river. It's time to grow up, take the diapers off, put some big boy panties on, big girl panties, whatever, and start fighting and taking this country back. Because it's ours to lose. And if we let it lose and we let them do this, then we deserve it. I'm not the only one. There's a bunch of people out here pointing all this stuff out. It's all over the internet for you to look up and research on your own to find answers. I mean, we are literally at the end of the wire. We don't have much time to do anything at all. And it may already be too late, I don't know. But I do know that as long as I have Jesus on my side and I have air in my lungs and blood in my veins still pumping, I'm going to keep fighting. This is my home. I don't have dual citizenship. I can't run to another country if this one goes under. And wouldn't have it even if I could. This is my home. My kids live here. My grandkids live here. Your families live here. I don't care if you're red, white, blue, purple, polka dotted, black, brown, it doesn't matter. We need to stop letting that stuff get in between us, drive a wedge in between us. Black, brown, white, whatever, those colors do not matter. Red, white, and blue is what matters, because we're all under that red, white, and blue flag. We're all American. We need to let that bring us together. And we need to start shoveling the shit out of the stalls in this DC, what I call District of Criminals. And we need to start taking this country back. Our founding fathers, I know what they would do if they were here. They fought a war for this country at the start. Now it's our turn. You always try the nice way, and the nice way doesn't seem to be working. So we're going to have to figure out another way to get these people to start paying attention and do what they're supposed to be doing in there and doing their job, or get them out. That don't mean wait till an election and vote them out. That means get them out now. We need to bring 1776 back in this country. Now. Because, like I said, it's ours to lose. And if we let this great country go down, then we deserve it. And you're going to have the like I said, I voted for Trump. In 2016, I voted for him this time. But he's not doing what he said he was going to do. And I'm not a cult member. None of these Republicans, except for maybe Thomas Massey, or any of the Democrats, except for maybe Ro Khanna, doing anything close to what they're supposed to be doing. Marjorie Taylor Greene was doing good, but you know, they pushed her out. Let's get on this, guys. Share this video. Yes, you'll send it to anybody you know, everybody you know. Talk to people. Let's try to start getting a coalition or something going to where we can start putting pressure on people. And if that don't work, need be, well, try something else. But if anybody can, you know, I'm from a little rinky-dink town. Jobs have pretty much been run out of here the last couple of years. So times are hard around here. I still haven't been monetized. If anybody find it in their heart to help, you know, donate to the channel, I've got all these things down here at the bottom on this Chiron thing. Cash App, PayPal, Chime. You can donate to the channel, and I'll put those up there. There's like little QR code scanners. Donate to the channel if you can't. I appreciate it. Just subscribe, like, and share. Comment. I said I'm not monetized yet, so this is all I'm doing. You know, I'm not getting paid for any of this yet. But like the video, subscribe, definitely subscribe. I've got to start getting subscribers. I can't get monetized until I start getting my numbers up. Leave comments. Let me know how y'all feel about things. Other things you maybe want me to cover or look at. And yeah, like, share, subscribe, comment, and if you can, donate. I appreciate everybody who can. Like I said, if you can't, at least subscribe, like, share, comment. Every bit helps. And I'll be making another video on this. I'm going to be making a video on the whole Muslim deal that's going on. You know, because it's not just the Philadelphians that's wanting to try to take over and and get rid of all of us. It's also the Muslims too. I got several things I've got my hands in the fire on. Gun rights is one thing that they're going at really hard right now because it's harder to take over a people when they're armed. And it's harder to fight back against tyranny and treasonous pieces of crap when you don't have nothing but a stick. So we got to start fighting back against all that. But I said, this is already gone. I've ironed 15 minutes, so I don't want to go too long. It seems like people don't like watching anything that's much over 45 minutes to an hour. But guys, I appreciate it. God bless all of you. Like I said, like, share, comment, subscribe, and if you can, donate to kind of help keep us going till we can get monetized. Let me know anything your thoughts. Whatever you just want me to know in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one. I appreciate it. God bless you.